Just 1 minute, I'll be back.
Namaste, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So the first thing you asked during today's class, you said if somebody comes up and asks or says, I'm confused, you asked us to think about it. So is that something that you want us to think and discuss in our group, in WhatsApp group? Or
The discussion class, we can discuss in Satsang. So we can open up a few Satsangs to discuss that. See, this is discussing in WhatsApp is, okay. I mean, it's, we want a two-way exchange, a nice
that
life.
is not my preferred medium. This is a preferred.
Sure, sure. Yeah, so it's important because now that we've been studying for a long time now. And so, as Swamiji would say, fake it to make it. Fake it. Act as though you are a jnani. Yeah, that's what it should be. Only then the jnanitvam will come. So we have to do that. We have to practice that. We have to practice. Act as though you're advising people. And you do advise, but formally, let's discuss that. Good suggestion, Swapna.
So when do we take up this question?
Yeah, collect your thoughts, and let's finish the satsang questions. I mean, if the satsang questions are over in 10 minutes, let's make an effort to abbreviate those satsang sessions and then follow it up with a discussion, a 20-minute, 30-minute discussion on this. And each of you can take turns and just share your thoughts. Anything right or wrong in this, share your thoughts. How will you respond? What are the things you think about? In what way you will respond? All that, just think about. It will be very good for each of us to share that. So
I have another question.
We can start as early as it is Bhagavad Gita, right? So Monday, and we should limit it to Monday and Wednesday, India time.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Is there a syllabus for Paravidya?
Yes, believe it or not, there is a syllabus for Paravidya. Yes, there is, and which is what we follow in the ashram. Okay, which is what we follow in the ashram, right? So if you stay there, we live there for 3.5 years, 4 years, and then there's a particular. It's all Shravanam anyway. Syllabus means what? There is typical days like this, and you have all the mostly classes, but there is also yoga, prarthana, puja, and all is there. But then like we are studying, we started with Tattva Bodha. Bhagavad Gita also starts because it's a long text, so it will take a long time to finish. So that it gets started right in the beginning. And then slowly Upanishads are introduced. So Katha Upanishad will start. Mundaka will be there. And then slowly we do Kena, Isha, etc. And then finally we'll do Mandukya Upanishad. Mandukya Upanishad has only 7 mantras. 7 mantras, that's it. You look at this Upanishad, you say, what?
12 mantras.
12, well, 12 mantras. 12 mantras it has. No, sorry, the seventh one is the other mantra. Prajnanaganam. And so 12 mantras it has. But it has a karika and all that. So anyway, bottom line is there is a particular gradation. And then there are texts that we are supposed to study by ourselves, not taught by a teacher. Very interesting it is. After you studied, now you are free to study something and make something out of it. Like that, there are some Siddhi Granthas. And so, yes, the short answer to your question is yes. As you can imagine.
Okay. Dhanyavadaha. Namaste.
So what motivated you to ask the question, Swapna?
Paravidya?
Yeah.
Yes. The reason being, I knew there is a syllabus uh, in traditional teaching, and because when I see, of course, meaning you continue to study, right? So, so I'm sure by now, you know, you're teaching us, uh, you have the knowledge, right? But you continue to study. So, um, in this guna, in this chapter, um, when I was reading Swami Paramanathanandaji's notes, he said even a sattva person can get bonded, have that bondage of knowing more and more and more. So I'm sure people like you who want to know more are not bound by it, but you continue to learn, right? So I'm sure the attitude may be different. There is it's not that there's no uh, self-esteem involved there that, oh, I don't know, somebody else knows more, so I need to know. So yeah, I've been thinking about it since I read that note from Swamiji. I was like, okay, so how do I look at people around me, wise people who are learning, continuing to learn more and more. So
Right, right. So interesting. We talked about this with Swamiji in yesterday's class, Bhagavad Gita class, Bhasham class we had. Advaita Vedanta is very easy. It's actually easy. It's really not difficult at all, right? Because you are whole and you have to follow it means that's it. Once you're at least partially ready, you can say, you know what, this is it. This is it. I got it. And then after that, there's of course you have to study, and then you just have to strengthen that knowledge. That's all it is. And that's what Swami told me long ago. Vidatmananda ji said, yeah, oh, that's okay. Vedanta is very easy for you. And it struck me. Yeah, what he said is true. Easy for you, but then I have to deal with the world. I'm still a human being. I still have relationships. I still have duties. I still have the same problems that I've had before. Tell me, what does Advaita Vedanta solve, really speak? Swamiji would say, Puja Swamiji, your pocket will still be empty. If you think it's empty, it will still be empty only. You have to go figure out how to get it. Advaita Vedanta is absolutely useless. Most useless subject. Okay? And so Swamiji was saying yesterday that, dealing with what Advaita Vedanta does is remove the Moola Avidya. Moola Avidya is gone, uprooted. But then, as and when I'm engaging on a daily basis, I have children, parents, so many things are there. The minute the child says, there's blood oozing out of my body, then what happens? What happens to Vedanta? We don't know. Vedanta is gone far back in the back seat now. Because now, oh, what happened? Why? This, that, everything goes on. And so now he talks about something called Tula Vidya or Stula Vidya. Yeah? The avidya that is there, that is blocking me in my relationships, in my engagement. And so I have to see Ishvara everywhere. When Swamiji will say Ishvara is, Ishvara is, Ishvara is, from that moment you get up. And so I must be able to see see things unfolding. Maya is making all these things happen. I am playing a role and I am free. Like these ideas, can I invoke in every situation of my daily life? Waking hours of 16, 18 hours, whatever it is. Correct? That is what the study is all about now. The study is not to know that you are Brahman. That is over. The study is to just soak ourselves in and then keep the more I talk about it, the better off I am, because otherwise I'm going to get carried away. And the Jivan Mukti, see, the greatest prize of Advaita Vedanta is while living, I can enjoy the fruits of that knowledge. After death, see, after death, what happens, nobody knows. Shastram says Jivan Mukti will have Videha Mukti, etc., Adhogati, all these gatis are all mentioned. But that's all after life. Afterlife doesn't make a difference to me right now. Therefore, the greatest prize is the Jivan Mukti, and I can't really enjoy the Jivan Muktitvam unless I owned up everything properly. Custom doesn't say after this you run away from your family. No, you are supposed to be part of the family also. There's no running away. It's being talked about. And so, therefore, that's why, Swapna, that it's a good question for all of us to think about. And that's why we all study. I mean, of course, love to study is always there. And once Swamiji asked us this question, is there anything that you feel you have to do before you die? So everybody in the class said, no, no, no. I said, Swamiji, I'm still lagging behind studying Shakara Bhashyam. I still have to. I want to do that before I die. And so that created nice discussion. But yeah, you're right. It is not required for fulfillment. It is there because every day I want to use up till the last breath, whatever I can study of chakra. Will be good. That's what I told you. So good. These are very good questions. Thank you, sir.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
Prasad ji.
Mahodaya, it you said at the end the bhakti kind of merges into jnana. There's no real difference between the two. Can you elaborate a little bit more how that happens?
Yeah. So when you look at what bhakti is between me and Bhagavan, me and Ishvara. Correct?
Yes.
Bhakti is always between two.
Yes.
Suppose there is no two. Suppose there is only one. Sarvam khalu idam brahm. Suppose. If there is only one, bhakti is always between two. I think you agreed with me. Bhakti is always between two entities. Love is
Yes.
always between two entities. If love is between two entities, suppose there is only one entity in the whole world, the whole universe. Ekameva advitiyam Brahma, suppose. Then I must have bhakti towards whom?
Myself.
Where is yourself? And who is yourself?
There's no difference.
See, we just said bhakti is between two entities, two separate entities.
Correct.
You can't say I will have bhakti towards myself because now you're talking about one entity to the same entity. Are there two entities you're talking about? When you say I will have bhakti towards myself, is that two different selves you're talking about? This I who has bhakti towards self, the two selves you're talking about? I don't think so. I don't think so because there are no two selves. And therefore, bhakti disappears in a way. Bhakti disappears when there is only one entity. When this awareness of only one entity comes, bhakti disappears. Bhakti doesn't exist. If we define bhakti as that, which is an emotion between two entities, correct? I have bhakti towards Sri Rama. Now Sri Rama's big thing happened, and so our bhakti has just gone up suddenly, correct? Towards Ram, you need something, somebody, some powerful entity to which you can relate to, and that relationship is called bhakti. Correct? Not bhakti.
Yeah, I understand that.
Now, what we say is just like we say, hey, If everything is Brahma, who is to protect whom from what? God has to protect me. Suppose previously my idea was God has to protect me. Now, Chaitanya chapi mam vidhi. Hey, you are me, he says. Then how can God protect me if God is me? Suppose somebody asks us the question.
Mhm.
We can ask, hey, you are all studying Advaita Vedanta. Everything is one. God is you, you are God, etc. And you are saying God should protect you. They are contradictory statements. Suppose somebody tells us that. Answer is yes. Shastram says that. Kena kutaha. Who is going to protect me from what? Because I am no longer now a limited entity. Okay, this body will needs protection from this and that, from the elements. Okay, fine. But we are not even talking about the body. And so, that is what I mean when I say bhakti and knowledge merge. When I say bhakti will culminate in Advaita Jnana Bhakti. Now, my bhakti to Ishvara is much different than the bhakti to Ishvara I had before. I have bhakti still because I'm still in this body only. I'm still living. I have to lead a life. So I'm still a jiva. And Jnani is also a jiva. Jnani also has to deal with this body, deal with disease, deal with hunger, deal with thirst, everything a Jnani has to deal with. Okay. And so bhakti, yeah, okay. Bhakti is there to Ishvara, not for the sake of protecting me, not with the idea that God is going to protect me. Correct?
Yeah, yeah, I understand that.
So you can say bhakti is there. Nothing wrong in saying as an entity, bhakti is there. As a limited entity who
Mm.
can relate to people like we are all relating to each other, I can relate to Ishvara also. And bhakti will continue to remain. But that bhakti is very different than the other bhakti. My bhakti now is now powered by jnanam. Jnanam powered bhakti versus an ajnani's bhakti. Both are sacred, but this bhakti is very different. And I just said it by saying jnanam and bhakti are identical, merged together. Means that bhakti that I'm talking about is born of Advaita jnanam.
Mm.
Advaita
Okay.
jnanam is not possible by without bhakti.
Mm.
Okay, it's not possible without bhakti. That Shraddha has to be there and Bhakti has to be there. Only then I can even enter into this. That's why sometimes what happens is if our Bhakti was not there, if we didn't have enough Bhakti, but somehow we heard this and then we started studying, then what happens? Our Bhakti will keep on growing along with the study. Keep on growing. Previously, I never used to light the lamp also. Now I light the lamp also. Now I spend some time. I say a few prayers, whatever. So that Bhakti grows along. So that's what I meant, Haraji.
Okay. धन्यवादः महोदय.
Vijayji, go ahead.
Yeah, Guruji, yeah, the lecture, today's session was very enlightening. Yeah, a lot of things I have seen changing, like the knowledge part, to a large extent, like every scripture is talking the same thing. That tattva or the atma, more or less, is clear intellectually, but to make it realization or really our own, not experience, I don't know what to call it, that comes probably when you get into the bhakti. Now, bhakti for me has been like sublimation of the ego completely. Like you know that you are not the doer. That realization has started to happen. And also, I think you are able to see that divinity in everyone. Whether it's the good or bad, that's also because of the divinity. The role somebody is playing is because something that you have to hear. How can God tell you that? The only way is through different people around you, right? So that has really come because of bhakti, is what I feel. It's like that change is happening. So my interest now has become more not to gain that knowledge, because that more or less is looking like it's the same thing being taught differently by gunas, than by maybe different states and different, but it's the same ultimately. That now the pursuit is to, not pursuit, I shouldn't call it pursuit, but it is to really realize, really, that's the only ultimate objective looks like. So it's changing a lot. So yeah, session today was really enlightening. It felt like, yes, it's the journey I'm able to unfold and see, oh yeah, that's how its transition is happening.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
It's nice.
Yeah, Vaidyaji.
Jayakumarji, namaste. So you mentioned that the Mula Vidya is taken care of by study of Shastra. So I suppose, with Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, and so on, right? But will that Mula Vidya, removal also, will it not take care of this Stula Avidya that you mentioned?
Yeah, only Mula Vidya can take care of Stula Vidya. But then the habitual response is there.
Yeah.
Relationships are there. You can't just sever relationship just like that. Okay. And so that's what we say, how is my response going to be? It is possible to get carried away by pain of somebody else, by disease that somebody else is suffering. And you're not a stone. And so we're saying, okay, there also invoke that same vision. And that comes with repeated recollection of, repeated reminder, not even recollection, reminder of the teaching. That's why we do Shravanam, constant Shravanam. Because we may or may not be able to do that by ourselves. That's why we go to classes and all. Because sitting alone and studying, only a few people can. Most people can't do that. So that's why they just put everything, one sadhanam, only one sadhanam is Shravanam. If everything else you can do, you may not be able to do also. But Shravanam is easy to do. So they keep on listening, even if it is the same message, listen. And then, so that's the Stula Vidya. Stula Vidya is basically that which blocks me from invoking the vision during my daily life. Because if I'm reacting now to situations exactly like I was reacting 20 years ago, then the Shastram has not done anything to me. So I have to catch myself. That is the Stula Vidya idea.
So the Stula Vidya, is it different from Mula Avidya? That's the
Good question. No, so Stula Vidya is not different from Mula Vidya. Stula Vidya is just a term that is used to say that which prevents me from seeing Ishvara everywhere is Stula Vidya. Despite Mula Jnanam, Mula Avidya Nivritti, despite the Vedanta Jnana, taking Mithya as Satyam is Stula Vidya. Forgetting that I am playing a role. There's a drama unfolding. Even for a Jnani, drama is unfolding. If I forget that, in fact, forgetting is not the right word, because no knowledge can be forgotten, really. Motherhood example. Mother can never forget being a mother. So like that, a Jnani is a Jnani. forever. That's it. So, but even for that jnani, because the life has been like that, we've led a life of constant karma phalam, interaction, protecting, and then threat. Whenever there's a threat, I respond, and this response is constant. Our brains are all just conditioned to respond in certain ways. This is beyond psychology. And so now, this Jivan Muktitvam, is this some theoretical thing or what? It has to be real for that jnani. And so they talk about Sthula Vidya.
So you're saying even for a jnani, that Stula Vidya can exist?
So that's what. So Jnana Nishta, Jnana Nishta, no, they won't have that kind of a problem. But as students, who are
Students, yeah.
as students, then we, and all of us, we should consider all of us as jnanis. Swamiji will remind us. You're all jnanis, believe it or not. Like that, he would tell. He will remind us because
only we don't realize we are a jnani.
So that's it. You have to say at some point, yeah, I got it. So,
as Nishta is missing, no? We are not abiding in that. Okay, knowledge is there, but maybe constantly abiding in that is missing.
Right. And so that's it's a transformation. And yeah, so the fifth chapter, Sri Krishna wants jnanis. You can be easily carried away by things. You be careful. Like that, Krishna is telling. So guarantee nahi hai. Means, I got it, everything, this, that, and all. Okay, you have to get the nishta. Nishta is needed. Yeah, Premaji, go ahead.
Which verses are those approximately?
Many verses. I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll tell you. 1 second. Fifth. So, you see, look at 522, for example. Okay, 522. Ye hi samsparshaja bhogaha dukkayonaya evate adyantavantah kaunteya nateshu ramate budaha. He's telling Arjuna that, these wise people don't really get lost in all these sensory pleasures and things like that. That means what it's actually, Swami Paramarthananda says, it's a warning to the jnani also. Just because you're a jnani doesn't mean you just get to lose yourself in this. It's possible. That's what he's saying. Like that, the other shlokas also are like that. Chaknoti, haivayas sodam, vimokshana, kama krododbhavam vegam. Anger is waiting. Kama and krodha is just waiting. Because there is something called vasana, which even a jnani has no control over. What is vasana?
These are habitual impressions, right?
So, that vasana is going to decide what I do. Even though dharma is supposed to decide what I do, even though jnanam should decide what I do, but the vasana comes and then just makes the karta do things that he or she should not. And so that vasana is all indicated by these shlokas. And so don't take anything for granted. Like that, Krishna tells a jnani. Means you have to continue to be alert. Alertness. It's not fear. It's not a threat. Hey, you have to be alert. That's all. If you're not alert, then slowly I will keep justifying all my actions. Oh, this is all right. That's all right. This is all right.
Manmani versus alert living. Late living versus alert living.
Yeah, Manumani. So, of course, alertness doesn't mean stress. Alertness means, person knows exactly what's what and then invokes it. Periodically has to invoke because there are all the transactions are going on. And so there's always an opportunity for the jnani to be alive to all that. Puja Swamiji is a very good example of that. And of course, all our acharyas are good.
That's why that even the greatest saints are also shown to have been slipped, like Vishwamitra. That's why greatest saints are also have shown to have been slipped.
Right.
Vishwamitra are
Yeah,
shown,
yeah,
Durvasa and all these things. That's why they purposefully introduced that. Like Shankaracharya's case as Manisha Pankajam, that not that he did it, he was just so he can also be carried away. That's why they are portraying it like that.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, Meera, go ahead.
Guruji, can we also say that once the Jnana Nishta is, he is the person who is in Mananam, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, who is following that, can we say after, once he is established in that he has understood and he continues to overcome this, what you call, habitual error, he continues to practice to see that whenever his ahankara is, because of habitual error, when he is facing the outcome of ahankara, he is able to correct himself. So can we say that when a person's buddhi is, that sthirata has happened to a great extent, he recognizes the discomfort because of the ahankara, it becomes the other way. Like the habitual error is actually he's able to recognize it very quickly because there is a discomfort. Can we say that?
Yeah, of course. Of course you can say that. You can say that.
Because it is not his, he has recognized that it is not his nature. He is able to see that clearly that it is not his nature.
Right, right.
And catch it there.
Yeah, of course. That is the power of knowledge. Yes.
Yeah. So I think that is one of the outcomes of constant Shravanam Mananam. I think that is one of the outcomes. That discomfort is there now. Earlier, he didn't know that there is a discomfort because it was an habitual error. And it was a part of him. He couldn't segregate it from that. That is not him. But then once the knowledge is establishing, the understanding is firm, I think he feels the discomfort when the ahankara is, when it is away from his nature, when it is not his nature. He recognizes it faster. I feel that happens.
Right, definitely. So Swamiji talks about in reactions, frequency, how often I react to situations.
Yeah.
And then intensity of the reaction. Okay, Fi. Then R. After I react, how how quickly do I recover? Swamiji calls it Paramartha, FIR is called. He has coined that acronym. He's given us a lot of acronyms, right? This is one of the acronyms. FIR. So FIR reduction, or at least frequency reduction, intensity reduction, and recovery time also reduction. Correct. Reduction of all.
It's a beautiful Subhashita for that.
Okay.
Not accurately recollect, but that says for some people it is till the death it is, the reaction will be there. 25 years back he said that. They will not recover from that itself. Like that. I'll just search for the slogan.
And I also feel even if the recovery is quick, that also can cause an ahankara. Oh, I'm able to do it.
And some days
You're able to recover, that recovery also is because of.
Madhyame Gadika Dvayam, Adamecha, something is coming like that.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Perfectly fits here.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. Premaji.
Dhanyavada, Guruji.
Guruji, very often I find your statement that Kallakanda Nayakanam, Nayakanda Kallakanam. You said that. It happens with the Jnanam and with Bhakti. When Bhakti predominates, very often the Jnanam takes a backseat. And sometimes when Jnanam predominates and Bhakti takes a backseat, but they're both existent at the same time, since you're unable to see both together, you have difficulties. Is that real or am I making it up?
It's better if we don't obsess over it. That's what I feel. See, Jnanam is not subject to my free will. Can't say tonight I want Jnanam. I can't say that. So Jnanam also, free will is not important. Bhakti also we've gained through our life only, by practice, by hearing so many people, by being in the company of so many acharyas, mahatmas. So we gained, of course, Ramayana, Mahabharata, all that is there. Sri Krishna, Rama, and all. All right. So Bhakti also has grown. And so why Bhakti grew? Because we allowed it to happen. Not because we questioned it and we analyzed it and things like that. It happened. And so Jnanam is there. Now it's new in our life. There is something called Jnanam. Atma Jnanam is important. And so we allow it. We allow the flower to blossom. And we don't worry about whether Jnanam is there or Bhakti is there. From the pondering about it. You can think about those things, but not worry so much about whether I'm able to invoke one or the other at any given time, if that's a concern. I think that's why we say Shravanam Kuru. Shravanam Kuru. Shravanam will take care of all these problems. Yeah, really. I think it will. It brings everything to a closure.
The understanding and the emotions match them.
Yes. And Jnanam doesn't say you will not have any emotions. Yeah, the emotion, the mind is supposed to express emotions and all types of emotions. And so, emotions can be there, but Jnanam becomes predominant. It governs the what? It governs the impact emotions have on the person. Say that. See, I did not say Jnanam governs emotions. No. Hey, child comes and says hi, and then I'll say hi. What Jnanam governs that emotion? No, there's no need for Atma Jnanam to enjoy talking with a small boy or girl. Okay, so emotions, let it come. We are not trying to control our emotions. Jnanam is there. It's always there. And so no emotion will seize me, will sweep me away.
So the essence is just to be and watch the background and the foreground simultaneously as it appears.
Correct.
Thank you, Guruji.
Premaji, what you said is not the correct way of saying it. It is not Kallai Kandal Nayak Kanade. It is Kallai Kandal Nayagani Kanade.
Kallai Kandal Nayak Kanada.
That is somehow got mixed up. Nayagan.
What did I say?
Nayak Kanada.
Kallakanda Nayak Kanade.
Nayaganai Kanade.
Nayaganai. Oh, okay.
So that is the correct thing.
Okay.
It's another statement. Marathil Marindadu Mamada Yanai. Parathil Marindadu Parmudal Budam. That is,
அப்படின்னா
if you see the stone, you don't see that God. If you see the God,
you see.
you don't see the
Okay,
Lord.
what did you say? Something about Parmadal Budam?
Means
You said something.
I have written to you.
Okay, you write to me then.
I
Thank you, Ramaji. Very kind. Thank you. Thank you, Guruji. Very much.
மரத்தில் மறைந்தது மாமத யானை மரத்தை மறைத்தது மாமத யானை மரத்தில் மறைந்தது மாமத யானை பரத்தை மறைத்தது பார்முதல் பூதம் பரத்தில் மறைந்தது பார்முதல் பூதம். It's a beautiful couplet written by Tirumular, I think. And so it says, like the child is mesmerized by the elephant toy that the parents purchased him, and playing with the elephant and tiger and animals, dog and all that. And the parents are so amazed that they're enjoying their wealth. Look, sandalwood. They only see sandalwood. They don't see elephant. They don't see tiger, dog, nothing. They don't see. It's called jnani. They're all jnanis, right?
Previously, that biscuits used to come with figures of animals, birds, and all. We used to fight for that. I want that. I want this, and like that.
So that's what Ramuji is quoting. But yeah, I think I have found in my life that Shravanam, I used to obsess over a lot of things, by the way. Why is this emotion coming? Why am I feeling angry? Or why am I feeling upset? Why do I feel weak, vulnerable? All these ideas. Why?
Even during prayer, happiness or tears. Even during prayers, happiness or tears sometimes, or other emotions also come up.
Yes.
So that's why I was asking.
Yeah. No, you allow emotions to come. It's very important. If it comes during prayers and all, it's a good sign. It's a very good sign. Catharsis is so important. And until somebody told me that, Jaykumar, you shouldn't obsess like this over all these things. Let allow things to happen. See, look at that. The another guru was waiting somewhere to tell me that. Then I said, okay, it's all right. I mean, I thought Vedanta, this, that, and all, some great thing should happen. Hey, let go. And then, okay, let go when that idea was there. I said, okay, it's all right to have emotion. It's all right to feel angry. It's all right to feel depressed. Depression also is there. Nobody wants to be depressed, but I'm depressed. All right. Keep at it. Shravanam Kuru. Guru, surrender to the Guru. And then he'll allow it to happen. Good questions today.
It was very touching, personally, moving when during Sankshepa Ramayana you teared up talking about Sita. It just touched me very deeply.
Yeah, those stories, those moments are they are like that. They are like Navarasa. So Valmiki is not ordinary. Good. So we'll pause with this. Okay. So remind me, Swapna, in the next Gita Satsang, we are going to switch gears a little. Yeah. Thanks. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.